Jeffrey Edwards Epstein was not a bad guy, or at least as bad as people claim him to be. Sure, he did plead guilty to some questionable stuff, but that is not everything that he did. He had a lot of influence from a lot of different places and a lot of different people, but most importantly, he was a very cute man. First of all, I have to say that I am not a homosexual. However, Jeffrey Epstein was a cute man. Everything from his beautiful face to his handsome body is enough to make any man question his sexuality. And thankfully, in the release of his documents, his workout routine has been released, which has made it possible for more people than ever before to be just as beautiful as him. He was a glorious man who a lot of people were jealous of, and they tried to put him down just because they know deep down that they will never be as cute and petite as he was. And besides his beauty, he has also supported a lot of science and education through funding. He has donated over tens of millions of dollars to scientific research and academic institutions over the years, as well as he supported individual scientists and projects at places like Harvard University and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Jeffrey was always interested in science and especially interesting topics such as human intelligence, genetic research, and the possibility of life extension, and as well as cognitive science. He even created the Jeffrey Epstein 6 Foundation, which supported science education programs, public outreach in science, research initiatives, and even student scholarships in some cases. He was a generous man who helped a lot of young women get the education which they would not been able to get otherwise. Now, a lot of people do not want to admit publicly that they like the man. The current stigma going around is that he did some things that are not very nice to certain women. A lot of women have been in the media for a few years now, and they have accused him of doing some things that would be considered crimes in certain parts of the world. These accusers have profited from throwing dirt at him, which have ruined his reputation to a certain degree. Now, coincidentally, I have noticed a pattern of these women who have been making accusations against him. Virginia Jeffrey has made a fortune, which reports claim to be around or up to $22 million. And that is not that strange, as I would attempt to do the same. However, what is strange is that she just happens to be a white woman with blonde hair and blue eyes. And I don't know, but Jeffrey sounds a lot like a German name to me. It is just strange that a situation like this still occurs in the 21st century. I personally thought this behavior belonged in the past and not in modern society. It is just strange how this pattern fits along multiple of the accusers. And last but not least, just because you plead guilty to something in the court of law does not mean that you actually are guilty. Chris Ochoa was a man who falsely confessed and pleaded guilty after intense interrogation. He even testified against his own friend Richard Danziger. They both were exonerated 10 years later after another man confessed and DNA confirmed that they were both innocent. They pleaded guilty so that they would avoid the death penalty. The same thing applies to the Fifth Amendment. It was created to protect the innocent and to prevent self-incrimination, and to ensure the due process is fair. If someone is being accused of something, the Fifth Amendment can help people from being coerced into admitting guilt they don't have. The Fifth Amendment guarantees due process of law, meaning the government must follow fair legal procedures before punishing someone, which gives the innocent a chance to defend themselves, and ensures that evidence is gathered and used properly. As you can see, Jeff have been accused of some stuff. However, all of the good things he has done clearly overrides the negative things which he has been accused of. He was a man who loved science and education and wanted to make the world a better place. However, some guys have decided to tear down everything he built in his life. They want to destroy everything that he did just because they are jealous of how beautiful of a man he was. He had a lot of inner beauty as well as outer beauty. Besides being petite and cute, he also did a lot to improve society. However, the guys have done what they always do. They have done this for too long, and we need to stand up to them and resist. Jeffrey was not their first victim, and he certainly won't be the last.